There's a song which always reminds me of the fairies in A Midsummer Night's Dream. When I was younger, and maybe even now, I had very fairy-like features. I was very androgynous, mixed with a mysterious ethnicity. I've always had complete strangers coming up to me and asking, "What are you?" It wasn't until I saw The Fifth Element in 1997 that I started quoting from Bruce Willis's character, Corbin Dallas. "I am a meat popsicle." It was no different during my dating period. Blind dates were the worst. I'd arrive on the scene and get this kind of expression. Definitely not the boy next door. I might have his voice, but not his bedroom eyes. Mine had epicanthic folds and my skin was beige. Everyone assumed I was Asian or Hispanic. No one would ever guess that I was Native American. And when I tell them, they'd say, "You don't look Indian." Well, in Pine Ridge, South Dakota, lots of guys look like me. I guess I need the headdress. War paint. Or when I tell them I was Oglala Sioux, first I'd have to teach them how to pronounce it. Then when they realized I was an authentic Indian, they'd say, "I am so sorry." But on these tremendously awkward dates, I'd always feel like I was being lumped into some generic ethnic category, like some odd exotic item on a Chinese buffet. Or worse, they'd try to guess. Somalian, Mongolian, Tibetan, Cambodian, Korean, Peruvian. People still stare at me everywhere I go, to this day, oftentimes blatantly so. And the odd thing is, when all of this ancestry and DNA testing came about, they were like Easter baskets, and so many people wanted to get the Native American egg. I knew a woman who broke down because her test results indicated no Native American lineage. I told her perhaps in another incarnation she was. "Well, you can get me an Indian name, can't you?" I was given the name Mato Chante early in my development. It wasn't like deciding you're going to go by Madonna now, or Steven Star Salamander. Being given a name is a responsibility to your tribe. You have to walk the red road. You have to live a spiritually congruent life. You can't say everywhere on social media that you are, posting inspirational quotes you don't live by. You can't say you are a person of honor when you're talking something else out the side of your mouth. It's not incense and Enya. It's definitely not about comfort. Think of all the braves, spiritual teachers, saints and mystics, all of the discipline and hardships they had to endure to achieve enlightenment. But the woman asks, "Can't you just adopt me into your tribe?" Over the years, I have been offered large sums of money for my eagle feather. I've had people ask me for peyote, for my own DNA, to come up with names for them, or to get them into powwows or sundances. There's still a lot of appropriation, and my culture is still treated by many as something of a novelty. So the woman says, "But my great-great-great-grandmother is a Cherokee Princess." I explained that her path to the Creator is between her and the Creator. She doesn't need a special charm. She doesn't need to do the hokey pokey at sundown on Sundays. I asked if she was honestly able to walk that red road. And she says, "Well, yeah, I can offer a couple days a week. I mean, my schedule's pretty busy." I gave her a friendly reminder that spirituality is a practice. Can she practice not cutting people off during her morning commute? Can she resist flipping people off in traffic, riding too closely? Can she give others the right of way? Let's start with that perfect daily exercise. I never heard from her again. And I wonder what she was doing now during this pandemic, where people cannot be inconvenienced. People who have to have it first, have it fast. This dark shadow side of the American dream having taken hold, where entitlement runs rampant, where people complain so often because they have so much. Patience, compassion, gratitude, all endangered spiritual virtues. And we're human, I get that. I'm more than a meat popsicle. But when I received my name, I had to begin to focus not just on my actions and thoughts, but to the effect those had on my brothers and sisters around me. And I had to look at how much time I was really making for the Creator. When I have experienced miraculous events, or experiences that defy what science says is not possible, I wasn't pulling out my wallet for more. I was on my knees, in gratitude and humility. What if you were being blatantly guided to something that not only seemed impossible, but laughable? Would you accept that challenge? If you dreamt about something, kept hearing about something that kept coming up in conversation, appearing on the sides of buses and cabs you pulled up to. Something like fairies. That's a good one. How do you feel about them? How do you think others would feel about you feeling about them? I've been called a fairy plenty of times. I always thought I should just have pointed ears, actually. I mean, why not? I am a Trekkie. In addition to my appearance, I've always been very soft-spoken, so I was a very easy target for bullies. And there has always been this very otherworldly energy to me, which sometimes frightened people off. I don't live every day like the Buddha, but my everyday is interwoven with spirit. It's such a part of who I am, is in my DNA. So I just decided to own it. What are these fairies? These fae I keep hearing about. After becoming a Watochante, I found a little Victorian house on the outskirts of downtown Denver, the 12th House. It was a metaphysical store. They carried sage and sweetgrass, and all the spiritual tools I began to acquire on my new path. When I moved to another city, I really missed that place, but I found another one just like it. I met a lot of people in the spiritual community, psychics and healers and life coaches. I already knew shaman and medicine men, so this was a place where I continued to learn and grow. And eventually, I ended up managing this place, ordering their products, giving classes, scheduling readers. And one thing most everyone believed in were fairies, or the fae. A lot of these people claimed to have seen them. I honestly started to become a little envious. I believe in all these things, even though the Sioux had different names for them. How come I've never seen them? I clapped during Peter Pan. I found that people would often dismiss these life forms or treat them with humor. Halloween is obviously my favorite holiday, a time when the veil between worlds is breachable. And in Ireland, where Halloween originated, the fae were so critical to their existence. People still build around what are believed to be fairy mounds. They're such an essential part of that holiday. People laugh at them here, or they believe in them. As Native Americans, we always knew we coexisted with many different forms of life, most unseen. So how do you go about gaining an audience with these things? I knew they probably wouldn't appear to me for the novelty. Some people instructed me to go to a sacred site and bring little bells and coins. They like those things. It began to sound like Disney fairies. But I did bring small coins and bells. I made a satchel of herbs, which other cultures would use to attract and appease the fae. I scoured the internet for real photos of them and watched YouTube videos of them and watched movies about them. I was interested to see if they'd appear to me as a tulpa would, a thought form, something I'd given so much energy and focus to that it was like a holographic projection. No, they actually began to appear like fireflies. Good thing I brought a camera. When I arrived at what I believed to be sacred site, a place which had several reports of supernatural activity, I went at night. Night because it represents the unknown. Going out in the middle of the night to a secluded place with only a camera can generate a certain amount of fear. And I was willing to show them, whatever they were, that I was willing to confront my fear of the unknown for them to interact with me. That I was willing to meet them more than halfway. I spoke aloud, telling them they didn't have to be Tinkerbell. They didn't have to have wings. I would not dress them in the way the other cultures had. They could come to me any way they wanted. At first, I began to see and photograph what appeared to be insects. As a paranormal investigator, I had had a lot of experience photographing strange things outside at night. I knew insects, and these weren't insects. These, like fireflies, emitted their own light. Though at our elevation in Colorado, we don't get them. So what were they? And why did they respond to my meditation, my invitation, my summoning? One of them resembled a classic fairy, like something Brian Froud might sketch. In one photo, I opened up my arms to them, opening up my heart to their experience. In the photo I took directly thereafter, I captured the image of what appeared to be a little person with her arms outstretched. Some people talk about pareidolia, how we see Jesus in a tortilla or a bathroom tile, how our mind fills in the blanks. I'm sure some people thought the same here, or for that matter, most of the spirit photos we've taken. Debunking can be used to eliminate elements from a paranormal investigation. Someone claims their bathroom wall is bleeding real blood. Debunking can prove it's a combination of water and rust. But debunking can also have a shadow side, so that even though someone wasn't there, they'll want to tell you what you actually experienced, so that everything is put into a box, neat, sanitized, safe. No miracles, nothing supernatural, just water and rust, just the planet Venus, just a couple of hoaxers with swamp gas. So think of all the times you prayed for something miraculous and what you did afterward to accommodate it. Funny how even the non-religious or spiritual, when their car starts to give out, they'll be like, oh God, please. Do we turn to the Creator only in desperation? And think of how often we shut down a miraculous event before it even has a chance to spread its wings. That can't happen. At least, that can't happen to me. It's science. I'm nothing special. Ghosts aren't real. Fairies are only in books. I won't heal from this illness. I won't get the house I want. I won't get this job. Okay, you're entitled to that reality. But imagine there's you. And walking alongside, there is another you, which you can sometimes hear. That you has seen ghosts, fairies, got the house he wanted, got the job he wanted, was able to heal because he believes that anything is possible at any time. And he can show you how. There is between you only the thinnest veil, which is sometimes breachable when you're willing to meet him more than halfway. When you're able to open up your mind, your heart, your arms, to not tap your toes or pull out your wallet, but to kneel and to make space in your life for that which sometimes will only answer you in a tortilla or a tile, which can actually come alive again by your clapping, which sometimes only needs you to show up. I'm Atochante, and I thank you for watching.
My name is Christopher Allen Brewer. I've appeared on several supernatural programs, including Season 2 of Paranormal 911, airing every Saturday night on Travel Channel. You can follow me on Facebook through the Future Ghost page and my website, thespiritchasers.com. Thank you for watching.